These are 5 UFO cases that still raise questions. These cases became famous because the eyewitness testimony was unusually hard to ignore. At number 5 is the Ariel School incident in Zimbabwe. On September 16, 1994, dozens of school children said something strange landed near their playground. Many of the children described silver objects, unusual beings, and a message about the environment. BBC journalist Tim Leach and Harvard psychiatrist John Mack later interviewed witnesses from the school. Skeptics have suggested mass suggestion or childhood imagination, but the consistency of the accounts kept the case alive. At number 4 is the Westall UFO incident in Australia. On April 6, 1966, students and at least one teacher reported a strange object near the school. Witnesses described a silver or gray disc descending near an area called the Grange. The story grew because many witnesses were young, but they were not alone. Decades later, reunions, documentaries, and local memory turned Westall into Australia's most famous UFO case. At number 3 is Japan Airlines Flight 1628. On November 17, 1986, Captain Kenju Terauchi and his crew were flying over Alaska. They reported strange lights following the aircraft, and Terauchi later described a much larger object nearby. Air traffic control checked radar, and the FAA later reviewed the case. Skeptics argued the crew may have misidentified planets, radar returns, or ordinary lights, but a veteran airline captain reporting a massive object near his plane made the case hard to forget. At number 2 is the Tehran UFO incident. On September 19, 1976, civilians reported a strange bright object over the Shemiran area of Tehran. Iranian air traffic controllers and military officers took the reports seriously enough to scramble F-4 Phantom jets. One pilot, Major Parviz Jafari, later said his jet lost communications and weapon systems as he approached the object. Skeptics have pointed to Jupiter, equipment problems, and pilot confusion as possible explanations. Still, the mix of civilian reports, fighter pilots, radar claims, and equipment failure keeps Tehran near the top of UFO history. At number 1 is the Nimitz Tic Tac encounter. In November 2004, Navy radar operators near the coast of Southern California tracked strange objects moving in unusual ways. Commander David Fravor and Lieutenant Commander Alex Dietrich were sent to investigate in FA-18 fighter jets. Fravor described a white tic-tac-shaped object with no wings, no visible engine, and sudden movement unlike a normal aircraft. Another Navy pilot, Chad Underwood, later recorded the object on infrared video. The Navy footage became public years later, and the Pentagon confirmed the videos were real military recordings. That does not prove what the object was. But radar operators, Navy pilots, and official video made this one impossible to ignore. These cases do not all point to the same answer, but each one left behind witnesses, records, or details that still refuse to disappear. Which UFO case raises the biggest question for you? Comment your answer and follow Top 5 Truths for more mysteries, history, and truth.